They're even working on setting up a fancy intergovernmental commission. In late 2024, they created a special working group to figure out the details. Basically, they formed a team to make the teamwork work better. Russia isn't just sending troops and handshakes. Now they're sending textbooks too. This is part of the reason why America is not happy about this relationship, because they know what an educated mind can do. But hold on, it gets even better. To help Burkina Faso build up its own skilled workers, Russia has doubled the number of scholarships for Burkinabe students in the 2024 to 2025 school year. This year alone, 27 more students get to pack their bags and head to Russia, with tuition fully covered by Russia's federal budget. So far, around 3,500 students from Burkina Faso have already studied in Russia. Since 2024, something called Russia House has been running in Ouagadougou. No, it's not a restaurant or a spy base. It's a cultural center. They offer Russian language classes and other cool stuff to help people get to know Russian culture without needing a passport. Russia isn't just bringing books and soldiers, they're also bringing food. Last year, Russia sent 25,000 tons of wheat to Burkina Faso for free. And guess what? This May, another big delivery of food is on its way to Ouagadougou. Hope they've got enough storage space. And you will want to pay close attention to this part. Love it or hate it, Captain Traore knows that fighting terrorism isn't just about soldiers and guns. It's also about building factories, making stuff, and teaching people how to engineer cool things. Africa needs more than just tough guys. It needs smart builders and tech gurus too.
I think it's up to us two black men to do everything possible to show the other side of the black man. We don't value enough our discoveries, we don't value our culture enough.
On a bigger scale, Moscow is setting up its military footprint in Burkina Faso and chatting with Chad, Mali, and Niger to team up as military buddies in West Africa. This long, skinny region keeps facing trouble from militant groups, so they all need to work together and come up with a solid plan to keep the bad guys away. West African countries like Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger are packed with people and natural resources, but somehow they're still behind in development. They often blame France and other Western countries for their problems, saying bad governance and policies keep them stuck in the slow lane. For years, most people in these countries have been pretty poor. But wait, there's more. Captain Traore just went full rebel and signed a gold deal with Russia that skips the usual dollar drama. Burkina Faso sold $1 billion worth of gold to Russia without using the dollar at all. That's economic war.
We want to change the mindset of our youth. How to do it? We certainly communicate by speaking, but we can't spend the whole day talking.
Burkina Faso also gave Russian mining company Nordgold a license to dig for gold. The military government wants to cash in on the super high gold prices to boost their shaky economy. This move shows Russia and Burkina Faso are getting closer and closer as the country's new leaders keep moving away from their old Western buddies and cozy up to Moscow instead. The Neo gold deposit is sitting pretty in Burkina Faso's Korwelgo province, covering about 53 square kilometers. Think of it as a gold treasure chest waiting to be opened. The exploration license is held by Jilby Burkina, but guess what? It's now owned by Nordgold, the Russian company that already runs the Bissa and Boli mines. They're basically the gold pros in the neighborhood. But here's what no one is talking about. The government said the Neo mine should produce around 20.22 metric tons of gold over the next 8 years. That's a lot of shiny stuff.
Always take examples. They will tell us, you know, Thomas Sankara tried to do it like this, but where is he? He is dead. The Haitian president, he tried to do it like this. Where is he? He is dead. Gaddafi tried like this. Where is he? He is dead. These are the veiled statements made to us to instill fear. If we remain in this posture of fear, we will be cowards, and history will judge us. Our children will ask questions. Our grandchildren will ask questions. We are writing history. There is no room for cowardice.
Here's how the money pie is sliced. Jilby Burkina keeps 85% of the project, while the Burkinabe government gets 15%, and they don't have to pay a dime for their share, thanks to the new mining rules. Sweet deal, right? Over the mine's lifetime, it's expected to add about 51.5 billion CFA francs, that's around $89 million, to the country's budget, plus another 7.06 billion CFA francs to their mineral wealth fund. So basically, Burkina Faso's pockets will be jingling with some extra cash from all that gold, and that's just scratching the surface of this whole drama. Burkina Faso, which has been dealing with Islamist militants since 2015, is also a big player in gold production. According to a group called Swiss Aid, Burkina Faso dug up over 57 tons of gold in 2023. That's enough gold to make a lot of shiny jewelry or a giant golden statue of Captain Traore.
So don't be fooled by the stories. They tell to anyone who will listen. You must stay focused on your fight. Stay focused. We know what we are doing. And even now, the VTP commander told me that there is a human rights training session underway for group leaders and their deputies. If we make efforts, we know it's for ourselves. We no longer do things to please someone else.
There are some big mining companies working in the country too, like Canada's IAMGold, Endeavour Mining from the UK, and Australia's West African Resources Limited. So it's an international gold rush down there. Ulf Lessing, who runs a program about the Sahel at Germany's Konrad Adenauer Foundation, said working with Nordgold and other big mining companies is super important for Burkina Faso right now because the government's wallet is feeling pretty light. Basically, they need the gold cash to keep things running smoothly. And here's where things take a wild turn. The government says the new mine will create about 204 jobs, and it'll also help keep people working at the nearby Bissa gold mine. So fingers crossed, it's a win-win.
Good for our homeland. And you are committed to that. Defend your homeland. Do not listen to those individuals. They should not affect your morale. In the history of the world, there have been wars. And during the Second World War, people organized themselves to defend. All over the place.
Meanwhile, the American government isn't exactly throwing a party over all this. They're pretty open about their worries. Some leaked reports show US embassy folks raising red flags about Captain Traore's growing anti-Western vibes. There's even talk about a secret memo from the US State Department freaking out about the Alliance of Sahel States, AES. AES is working on some big changes, like new taxes for companies, better ways to handle natural resources, fixing the courts, and even boosting national pride. Basically, they want to be the new cool kids in West Africa who call the shots. The Sahel region is loaded with natural goodies like gold, uranium, and oil. But oddly enough, its people are still pretty poor. That's the problem the AES wants to fix. They're saying, hey, let's take control of our own wealth and change the tax rules so that the money actually helps local people, not just big foreign companies.
But there is a country that could not defend itself, which had to come and take our ancestors to go defend them. And today that same country wants to give us lessons. The pot calling the kettle black.
AES countries are getting serious about mining. For years, French, Canadian, and Chinese companies ran the show, but now things are changing. In Mali, the government even grabbed some foreign mining bosses to make sure they pay higher taxes and share more profits. Talk about tough love. Burkina Faso is also playing hardball. They rewrote the mining rules to get a bigger slice of the pie, made foreign companies put gold into the national stash, took over some gold mines themselves, and pulled licenses from those who didn't play by the new rules. They're saying, no more freeloading. AES countries aren't stopping at mining. They're also taking charge of their energy game. They want to produce more electricity at home and build better infrastructure. Niger, sitting on big uranium reserves, is especially keen to wean itself off France's nuclear industry, which has been mining their uranium for ages without giving much back. Time to flip the script, and you will never guess how it ends.
No. You are the descendants of those same ancestors who went to defend others, who liberated the world from Nazism. Today you are fighting for your lands. These same individuals dare to create terms
to tarnish you.
One of the AES's boldest moves is their currency. They're cooking up a new common currency to replace the old CFA franc, that colonial-era money still controlled by France. Having their own currency means these countries can finally call the shots on their finances instead of letting Western powers do it for them. Freedom at last. While the American government is still trying to figure out their next move, the AES is already making bold plans, like setting up a military base in the Sahel with some high-tech help from Russia and North Korea. At first, everyone thought it was just for show, you know, a little political flex, but now there's talk about missiles and satellites. Russia has agreed to send arms and train AES forces, aiming to boost the fight against terrorism in the region. These troops, decked out with their own planes, gear, and spy tools, will be patrolling all 3 AES countries, ready to keep the bad guys at bay. Sahel security just got a serious upgrade. Meanwhile, Burkina Faso isn't sitting around either. They've put together a new rapid response team, 14,000 soldiers plus thousands of civilian helpers to fight jihadist violence. This crew might soon join the new joint AES force, making it a bigger and tougher security squad. Then there is also the media houses. Traore has mentioned it several times that the West has used their own narrative in movies and news coverage to give Africa a bad name. He has made a bold move to send all the foreign media houses away from Burkina Faso. It is high time Africa tells their stories by themselves. Traore pointed out that for a long time, he was deceived because he believed all he saw in television about Africa. Till date, this has not changed. There are still some African youths who have accepted all they saw while growing up as true.
The best way is for the young person sitting in front of their screen watching a film to be able to learn from life lessons. Because we have values that we want to promote. We have values that we want the youth to integrate. How can we make them integrate if not through cinema? And acknowledge with me that we have lost so much through.
By setting up his own television and radio stations, the captain can control the narrative. The West are not excited about this because it means no more business for them there again. The young Burkinabes are going to tune to stations not being controlled from outside. It is this kind of moves that have made Traore a frequent target. The West are doing their best to take power away from him. America's attempt to show concern about the country by accusing Traore of using the gold reserves for himself didn't really have much effect on the captain. Instead, he responded in the most intelligent way. At this rate, there is nothing that can stop Burkina Faso and all other nations that have dared to stand up and fight for their rights. Do you think there are any other reasons why America is uncomfortable with Traore being the leader of Burkina Faso? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. But since you have watched this video, you were probably curious why America was afraid of Ibrahim Traore. Well, it wasn't only America, because even Elon Musk got terrified of Ibrahim's new plans. But if you want to know more about that, make sure to check out this video about Ibrahim and Elon Musk. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to show your support for Africa, and I will see you in the next one.